A research team is traveling across Canada to get a clearer picture on homelessness in our cities, how many people are unhoused, and details on who they are. Today, researchers are in Prince Albert speaking with community members and discussing their insights.
They talked about having to sleep in the bins to provide at least something over their head, and took us on tours of the bins and said, "This is how." Could I say, "How do you know what bin to sleep in?" So they took us on tours and said, "Okay, here's one that's a donation bin. There might be clothing, there might be things you warm in there." There might be some broken glass from throwing things in there. There might be some broken furniture. You got to be careful.
The team conducted interviews with more than 400 homeless people across 28 communities in the country. And lead researcher Cheryl Forchuk says 80% of them have a mental health diagnosis, including substance abuse disorder.
We found more young people that were homeless than we've seen previously, including people with more neurodiversity, kids with autism, for example, developmental handicaps, that the homeless sector is really not prepared to offer appropriate services.
Indigenous people are also overrepresented. In urban centers, about 30% people without a home are from Indigenous backgrounds, and Forchuk says the true number is likely much higher. That's because the current counting system focuses on large urban centers, leaving smaller rural communities out of the picture.
When we look at our smaller communities, the more rural communities, we're finding about 84% of the homeless population in those communities were Indigenous.
The researchers are calling for strategies to deal with issues like poverty by increasing basic income. They also want more public housing and rental supplements, and personalized support based on diverse needs for everyone, including young people, adults with dementia, veterans, and Indigenous people. Ashwarya Duda, CBC News, Prince Albert.